to done between January and February.
Very much. Raphael one introduce the other guy, Titus Bankole, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Can you get on with
well,
the show now?
all right, at this point, I introduce my boy. Because when they call him my boy, you know what? So, boy. Hey, boy, don't square.
What's up, boy?
Is a tiger? Is a dog? Is an ankitara?
All right, Dr. Square. Okay, that is supposed to be dog. Dog.
It's actually a very wonderful evening to you all, and according to what
It's trying to be mature.
earlier, the money in the federal government is 25 billion and not 25 billion. Okay. 25 billion. That's one of those things, and I'm just surprised that Right Honorable Amaechi is trying to take the responsibility of the Honorable Minister of Aviation at the same time, telling us about the anomalies with the Nigerian Airways. My name is Dr. Square, and welcome to the hangout.
All right, thank you very much, guys. So let's get into the discussion. Of course, trending stories, Pandador give us the list already. There's so many things that trend on social media, but you know, for the hangout, we start with waiting the trend, then we give you sport updates, and later on, we will do the open mic. Of course, the segment of the program we don't come on this way, but we not get what you will call now. Today we just do.
So we just did grand christening of that part. So
of that part
it's
of
been
the show.
christened as open mic,
Open mic.
and hence, if you want to share anything, you have to acknowledge the name or that segment appropriately, and we can allow you air your views or whatever.
So can I air my views and ask some
We're
questions?
not there yet.
No, on
No,
what's trending.
let's go on the
Yes,
trending
on what's
stories,
trending.
yeah.
I want to understand.
But you know, say again, but Pando just briefly mentioned the only one we just give us info on the Asuu.
Yeah.
So it go good make we carry everyone along to understand why these things are trending. So
Oh, okay.
Pando will come back to you again.
All right, make I just take for that of the Asuu now.
Can we
So-
start with Amaechi, please? Because that's what I want to ask.
Are you from Rivers?
No,
No,
that doesn't have any.
Amaechi
That's
is
a
not a
national
Rivers
issue.
man. He's the minister for transport, bro. Where are you from?
No, because I want understand where. in
No, my
that
question
country-
where I want to ask so that I don't, it doesn't.
Okay, let's just go because he get order already. Let's take Asuu, then we'll go to Amaechi, Abi.
No, I don't already do on.
All
on
right,
mention,
so
yeah.
go on.
No, but he said he get order already.
Okay. Apando, do your thing.
Okay, so Sahara reports on the press briefing where Amaechi grants today. One of his statements where then quote and he says we are confused on how to establish hashtag Nigerian Airways, says Chibike Amaechi. Amaechi made this announcement on Thursday, during the valedictory press briefing in Abuja today. Now he make that particular one. So people they say why are you confused on how to
so
establish
that's where my
Now,
question.
what is the full statement from Amaechi? Let's get to understand what
Yeah, let's
he
get there.
said at
Yeah,
that
before
press.
we
Yeah.
start.
Maybe since it's my question even doesn't. I'm not even attacking.
Okay,
Amaechi.
why we are trying to we'll get his full statement across.
All right,
Because
for the full
it will be
statement,
good for us to establish that before we start analyzing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Rotimi Amaechi, the Minister of Transportation, has said the Federal Executive Council is confused as to establish a national carrier. Amaechi made the announcement on Thursday during his valedictory press briefing in Abuja. He said, and I quote, on national carrier, the cabinet is divided on the issue of modality. There are those who believe that the federal government should invest and then we can sell the equity later. Also quoting him, there are also those who believe that no, and from day one, they say let us get investors in and give them the franchise of Nigerian Airways or Air Nigeria or whatever it's called. That is where we are. That is where we are, and that is what held it down. But as for whether it is still in our plan, it is and has not been abandoned.
So this is where I'm going to. The pressure that the federal government is with the Nigerian Air right now is one that was created by themselves, right? The moment they went to do that unveiling or whatever
unveiling
Yeah,
of the logo.
The
of
logo.
the logo,
Yeah.
it was them who put themselves on that pressure, and that's where I'm going to. That I don't. Why go ahead to take that huge step when a lot of fundamental things had not been resolved, like how it's going to be operated, because that's one of the
Yeah.
why are you keeping Nigerians on their toes? Let's not forget that this is an issue that is very sensitive. A lot of Nigerians have been complaining. Yesterday we talked about how Bike was insinuating on how
Yeah, according to the report, she didn't insinuate it. She said
accused.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, so her accusation on these foreign airlines,
yeah,
and
Egyptian Air and
I
Ethiopian
can
Air.
tell you that these airlines, at least Ethiopia, I know they have 3 flights in Nigeria that leaves Nigeria every day. So there are a lot of other ones, and Nigerians have been craving for a national carrier. Why not come out and say, oh guys, from by 2028, Nigeria's national carrier will be out, and then you know that everybody knows we have. Why come out and behave as if we were going to launch it the next 2 weeks, and now everything is coming
You,
up?
you, you know this the way just it all just they make me understand why Nigerians they behave the way that they do. Everything where most Nigerians they do now after the government, because governments over the years of this country they always show us say they're not they be like unwanted pregnancy. Yeah,
No plan for that.
no plan for it.
No plan for
So it
that.
just happened. One night stand just happened, and you just get a call later on that yeah, it's here, and then at that time they got it like, okay, what do we do? Because honestly, the first thing about the reaction we greeted the announcement of the Nigerian Air was that of fun for everybody. Really they happy that okay, waiting with all the struggle with over the years. Now we have a government. The only few complaints was like, okay, why or contract the design of the logo to a foreign company, and the logo doesn't seem something so complicated that cannot
Yeah,
be done
that
in
done by
Nigeria, coupled
yeah.
with the amount that was spent on the logo. Only for we to hear about months later that this thing not go fly at all. That all we had was not Nigerian Air in plan, but Nigerian Air on paper. So now that the minister come to talk this thing, yesterday was when they had the valedictory section of the FEC, Federal Executive Council. Of course, say by next week we don't do the swearing and all of the rest.
Yeah.
So now, Amaechi making this statement, a lot of things happen because he's just trying to brief the press, at least give his accounts of his stewardship and everything. This is what I achieved. But then again, when we talk transportation, air is a means of transportation,
But not
and,
under
but not under his watch. That is why the
Yeah.
question arose. What
Why
about this? And he had to.
exactly?
But the explanation given to Amaechi will tell us that all through the period, the 4 years that, in fact, the ministers have not really served up to 4 years because it was
Just
much
6
later into
months,
the
yeah.
administration that we get to know what ministers will be before the confirmation. But one thing has been established, the insinuations and some of the things that have been going around that there is this discord among the cabinet. People just they are just being pushed by the desire to impress the president and not necessarily do that which is needful for Nigerians and the country at large.
Or
Because
how about if I see it from this angle? Now let's not forget that all this came up to the build up of the 2019 election. How about if this is indirectly this administration
no, but
trying
then
to
you
tell to
understand
us,
that.
trying to make us see that they are working?
No,
And now that everybody has, okay, all this stuff you promoted during your campaign, during when you
no,
wanted to
but you know
convince
the
us,
Nigerian air thing at least didn't last into the election.
but it
The
came,
the, the,
no,
the whole
no,
news
come on, the election,
the news died after before the election, and it was clear to everybody
Yeah.
that Nigerian air will not take off. It was like what people will call white elephant project, a project that is never going to work. That there was no clear plan, clear design as at, and what Amaechi just said at least now something we further establish that to make us know say even for there we never agree we be the cabinet no agree wetin we wan do.
Waiting to do.
Na some people just out of say they wan impress go about to launch a logo wey dem spend everything together over $1 billion wey dem spend for that project.
Okay, sorry.
Let me quickly say something. I want to shift the dimensions of this particular argument concerning national carrier. If we're discussing this matter, is it a matter of how there's a resuscitation plan for the national carrier? Nigeria used to have a national carrier, yes or no?
Yeah.
And then it died. And then maybe this particular particular administration thought it be wise to bring it back up. The question surrounding this gesture will be, number one, is it a matter of pride? You want to restore the pride of the nation, or you want to curb the ethical activities of those who given the platform to operate within the country? Is that why you're bringing up the issue of Nigerian air or whatever they call it? That has always been my concern. I've never seen any true explanation to why there's a debate about national carrier. Are you not getting enough money or revenue at this moment, from the aviation sector to have things regulated? We've had there was a time in the past we had a series of crashes in the country. People were afraid for their lives. Yes, and then is it as a result of concern that these people are not subscribing to best practices as regarding operating within the country? So there's always something quite suspicious about everything the federal government puts out there under this particular administration. Now, like the phony gesture, I call it phony because it can't have a logo designed and then you stop there. I think it's a mockery of what a government should be. I think it's totally unacceptable. Like I said, we don't have active followership because what should follow is the mass should follow. Now, Amaechi is someone I know, or someone of very little credible, how would I call this, stature in Nigerian government, and he spoke out of the multiplicity of errors within their own operations too. Thank you. So if we are reacting to this matter tweet, and they're saying there are confusions, there's something happening, and in that statement, nothing precise, nothing tangible was mentioned as a particular problem. Yes, I think it's a most ambiguous.
It did mention two things.
It said
And
what?
about equity. There was this disagreement to say, okay, will it be fully funded and we'll have it as a Nigerian project, or we'll do it and after some time we're just going to sell the equity we have in. Let's not forget that while the announcement was made, it was said, okay, I'll bring out the name of the company. It was said that it was going to be run by Nigeria and other investors, not just the government. So he mentioned two issues there.
No, but also I think there's something we're even leaving out that Dr. Square mentioned, which you guys also added. Why is Amaechi talking about something that is not under his?
But he said it's
related.
Ministry
of Transport.
For instance, how do you think that the Minister of Aviation would feel coming out to read such statements?
At this point already, the cabinet not exist again. They don't do their validatory session. The man was just responding to questions.
But it's not. Which is not under
his office.
So it could have been ignored, right?
Yes,
this is not something that was discussed at the Federal Executive Council.
Yeah, but if it was asked in my if peradventure it was asked that question, he would have said, "I'm not the Minister of Aviation."
Because
now,
really?
Yes.
Are you saying it's not his jurisdiction?
Yes, now
it
is
You have the Minister of Aviation.
Where to transport, guys, you can't be serious about this.
No, but it's not in his jurisdiction.
It's not.
That we have an aviation minister doesn't mean that the Minister of Transport cannot speak about transportation.
But is he now? He's come out to make a statement that. Do you think that the Minister of Aviation is going to agree with him on this?
Let him release another statement.
Is that not the conclusion I am saying that should not be there?
In government, this is good for us, the public, because what we have at this moment
it's not good for us.
It's
sad. It's sad for
so
us.
That we know,
it's very I don't think it's everything you want to know. So it's sad that you know that
I
you have
think
a
it's a
government.
bad idea if you want to float national carrier and it's going to cost the government some amount of money, and you start hoping that in the nearest future it will be. I don't think it's the sort of direction you want to go right now. I think
it's also a bad idea to float or to try to float a national carrier and go ahead to make a logo and don't even have a website. And a smart Niger guy went to create website of the so-called name you want to use. At the end of the day, you were stuck somewhere.
All right. At this point, guys, we'll just take a music break, and when we come back, we'll talk about. Of course, the Asuu, or maybe we should talk about Asuu before we go for the break. Of course, this is the Hangouts live on Metro 97.7 FM, and of course, this program, the Hangout, becomes 7 to 9 o'clock. But officially after the news from 7, Then we play music, then our voice come on the program. Not forget, say this part of the program now where we dey talk about things we dey train. And then by 7:45 we'll talk about sports, give you everything you need to know about sports, and you self as person with the hear the program, the opportunity to win something for yourself. And from 8, yes, the other part, the open mic, where we get to talk about an issue, and you self really listen to us open the calling to talk about what is of concern to you or you contribute to our discussion. So now to Asu, Pando.
All right, the Academic Staff Union of University, Asuu, has denied knowledge of the 25 billion naira purportedly approved by federal government for the payment of earned academic allowance (EAA) for universities. The national president of the union, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, said this Wednesday in Abuja while reacting to the statement credited to the Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, that the Nigerian government has approved an additional 25 billion naira as earned academic allowance for the union. He said it became expedient for ASU leadership to clarify issues relating to the said 25 billion supposedly approved as part payment for the outstanding arrears of the earned academic allowance within the context of the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the federal government of Nigeria and ASU on 7 February 2019. Regrettably, the leadership of the union watched with dismay the failure of government to live up to its words.
Okay. Pando, sorry, I interrupt you there. If now permits me, I just like me to just look at this ASU thing, not even from federal government, these statements and the threat of another strike. But again, may we look at if we get children of those in power, in position, they are picking their attend Nigerian public universities.
Public,
Will feel they get these repeated issues where would they get about ASU strike, lack of materials, equipment, and all these things will they get?
I certainly think not. We wouldn't have this. Absolutely, you're right. And that's always been the how to put it now, the interpretation of the whole matter between NASU and the federal government. You see, going to these universities. So there's a lot to be talked about with ASU. I just want to blame ASU now on this matter. Do you know why? Because they've gone into several battles. They come up battered.
Yeah.
Because yes, the parties promised them, there's all treaties, signed, and it seems like they don't have a consensus. Do you understand? And then to me, some parties won't agree in the end, whatever they come up with to do for the government. But one person who's holding a high office, high office will come in and say, okay, this is what's going to happen. And to guess what? Everybody goes back. Maybe there's something that's been given to one party or the other in that particular organization. So there has to be the issue or people who are conniving within ASU. There has to be that one addressed. Because similar to the issue of Labour, I don't want to go into Labour right now. Yeah, so this is what the federal government will be exploiting. That particular hold in ASU is what they'll be exploiting. And when cases like this will arise, we'll never have a particular end to this back and forth relationship between ASU and the federal government.
Dr. Squad, what you think?
For me, I think it's payback period for us.
Payback.
Yes. Most of the people we have in power now are products of, many of them are products of ASU, offering ASU now. And coincidentally, we have some people in power as ministers now who were members of ASU, later administrators of universities, who have been serving in government and who are currently serving in government now. And if those ones are deafened to the agitation of ASU, then it means something has been wrong with our education system for a long time. Because what we are seeing now is the product of our education system when people are not sensible to details about how their actions and inactions can affect multiple of people out there. Because a lot of see,
Do you understand where the
I don't know if I'm confused, but the song not confused.
Um, that,
You
Willie,
pause now.
Willie,
Yeah.
you attach this headphone to a jacket.